All right, everyone. This is a video that I never thought that I would have to make. A teacher, link in the description, not archived in this case. There's a viral video going around of a teacher explaining why it's necessary to teach high school students about butt plugs. It's very important to her, or Zero. It's not entirely clear. It never is these days. Here's my thought. Leave the kids out of it. Now, I am no moralist. I have seen a lot of strange shit on the internet, for example. I've been using 4chan since 2008. I frequently used rotten.com and Ogrish and sites like that. So I've pretty much seen it all. We're talking dead bodies decomposing and covered, swarming with maggots, people getting their heads blown off, literal rape videos and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of weird shit on the internet. So I'm no moralist. I've become desensitized to that. But I'm an adult. And I was an adult when I first started encountering this material for the most part. Other than that, time when I was 12, when I was looking up, fart jokes and stuff like that. And of course, if you looked up anime sites, then it gradually led you to, maybe more nubile material, and then to even more extreme material. But beyond that, for the most part, uh, I'm desensitized. The internet was the Wild West, late 90s through the entirety of the 2000s into the 2010s was the Wild West. It was effectively, you saw the craziest things you could possibly imagine, some of which might not have even been legal. You saw this on a regular basis. That being said, children should not be exposed to that. What should children be doing? People under 18. They should be, brawling with each other and playing in the mud and hiking and shit like that. They should not be sitting there looking at butt plugs and stuff like that. I find it very funny that a teacher would find this particular topic so massively important. By the way, I'm pretty sure that the father of the child that's confronting her is black based on the accent. Very, very interesting. This is a typical Karen. I want to pervert your kids. It's my right and my duty to do so. They're literally saying it out loud at this point. The silent part is being said out loud. No, uh, teenagers do not need any instruction in sex at all anyway, because they're all fucking each other the whole time. I lost my virginity when I was 16. By the way, funny story. I hoodwinked my mom. I wasn't allowed to take my girlfriend into the bedroom and like close the door, so we wouldn't have had any privacy. So we couldn't, other than maybe kissing or something, we wouldn't have been able to do anything. So I convinced her that I wanted to take my girlfriend out on a hike to see the giant gravel pile that was out back. And she actually believed it. Yeah, that was totally the reason why I took my girlfriend out into the woods to see a gravel pile. That makes a lot of sense. But, teens are going to get it up, but they don't need any instruction from full-on adults about how to shove things in their ass. I can't believe that I have to make this video. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And how, by the way, is this even legal? Like, if I were to try to instruct a couple of teenagers on how to use anal lube or something like that, I'd probably get a fucking arrested. How is it therefore legal in a schooling context? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't even understand how half of these activities are legal. Like, imagine that you have a book. So you're an adult and you're talking to a group of tweens or something like that. And you start reading them a book about masturbation and stuff like that. You will get arrested. And rightfully so. You're perving on a bunch of little kids is probably a reason why you're reading them that book, right? Why is it that because a person happens to be employed by the school, they're allowed to get away with it? It's probably for the same goddamn reason. Either that or it's because they're a goddamn commie heathen. Uh, One of these two things is likely the case. It's actually the case. I always have to say that whenever I use that term. They don't need to instruct students on using butt plugs. What the hell is the purpose? Well, it's very important that little Johnny know how to plug up his asshole. Why? Is this educational? Well, I mean, in a roundabout way, but in a very perverted way, I suppose you could mislabel it as education, but it's really not. They'll figure out how to shove things up their ass on their own if they're really into that. There's no problem with that. And she's like rambling about, oh, you got a problem with my gay students and stuff like that. Miss, just to be clear, sometimes straight people also use butt plugs. It does happen. I've seen it on the internet. I myself do not. I prefer my ass not to be touched, for example. But some people are into that. They'll discover that on their own. They don't need that form of sexual education. They don't need to be taught about, oh, but yeah, today's lecture is on water sports. Tomorrow's lecture will be on bondage, and then we're going to talk about flogging and stuff like that. Why? What's the point? And why are my taxpayer dollars going to subsidize this bullshit? I mean, I want kids to learn about math and science, and preferably become literate in English, which appears to be a dying breed. Those are good things. And maybe they take a sport or something like that, and they get healthy. That's good. That's good for the nation. It's good for them. It helps prepare them for life. And these are good things. Teaching them how to insert a plug into their asshole is absolutely meaningless in the educational context. It has no educational meaning at all. I don't understand it. Why, Trump really needs to tamp down on this sort of thing, by the way. If anything, he needs to be goddamn more draconian with regards to the Department of Education and some of these schools, because quite clearly they're failing the kids. They're literally failing them. I mean, they've also got failing grades in many cases. And this is absolutely retarded when you think about it. No reasonable person, no sane, unless they're a pervert, in which case I can understand why they'd be in favor of this sort of thing. No reasonable, non-perverted person, anyway, wants to teach 15, 16-year-olds about butt plugs or wants that in the school system. And certainly no parent, again, unless they're, unfortunately, a pervert, would want it either. What the fuck is the point? It has no educational context at all. Here's how to shove something in your ass, Timmy. Well, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. That would be a 2-second lesson anyway. And why are you doing this? I mean, I've seen pictures and videos of teachers engaging in fairly explicit acts in front of groups of children. I've seen pictures and video of grown adults reading pornographic literature to children while showing their genitals. This is not acceptable. Leave the kids out of it. That's all that we're asking for. We're not asking for much now, are we? Does this make me extreme that I think that 12-year-olds shouldn't be exposed to the masturbation booklet? Does this really make me an oddball? I don't think so. I think it makes these people fucking perverts. Well, that's just my opinion. Leave the kids out of it. If you want to browse the internet for crazy shit, I'm sure that you'll be able to find it. It's all over the place. That's about all. Peace out.